There's a certain moment in every gardener's journey when the soil becomes the real puzzle. Seeds are easy, watering is simple, but the earth beneath your feet can be, well, stubborn. Many growers hit a wall with compacted beds, low fertility, or relentless weeds. Yet the solution has been sitting in our homes for decades, overlooked in the rush toward expensive fertilizers and complicated soil amendments. Cardboard, plain, brown, forgotten cardboard, has quietly served farmers and homesteaders for generations, from early American settlers who mulched their fields with whatever fibre they had, to wartime households who found ways to stretch every scrap for victory gardens. If you've struggled with improving dead soil or keeping weeds under control, this method is one of the most reliable, historically grounded, and honestly, shockingly effective tools you can use. For the next minute, hold on to that sense of curiosity history buffs love. We're about to walk through a technique so deceptively simple it feels like a secret, passed from one era's resourceful survivors to the next. Cardboard works because it mimics the natural decay cycles early farmers relied on. The power of cardboard doesn't come from some modern invention. It comes from a principle older than recorded history: layering. Forests build soil through collapsing leaves, bark, and woody debris. Cardboard behaves the same way. When placed on top of the ground, it suffocates weeds, holds moisture, and begins to break down slowly. As earthworms pull fibres into their tunnels, the soil softens and loosens. This process is identical to the fibre mulching methods used by Egyptians along the Nile and pioneer families on the Great Plains, who laid straw mats to improve barren fields. Cardboard simply offers a modern, abundant substitute. Its cellulosic structure feeds soil organisms steadily, allowing them to rebuild organic matter without overwhelming the system with nitrogen or salts. The first step is to strip cardboard down to its purest form and lay it correctly. To use cardboard effectively, it must be prepared properly. That means removing any glossy coatings, ink-heavy sections, and especially tape. These don't break down and can disrupt the soil community. What you want is plain corrugated cardboard. The ribbed structure gives microbes more surface area. Once prepared, lay the sheets directly over the soil surface. Now, don't dig, loosen, or aerate beforehand. Just let the cardboard act as the initial barrier. Set the pieces so they overlap by about 2 to 3 inches. This helps prevent weeds from finding any gaps. A single layer works well, but 2 layers are excellent for areas with aggressive grass, like Bermuda or Kikuyu. Early settlers used similar overlapping patterns with woven mats to block weed growth, which really proves the method's durability across different climates. Moisture is vital because it activates decomposition and worm activity. Dry cardboard doesn't break down. The moment it settles on the soil, water must be added. A thorough soaking softens the fibres and makes them flexible enough for earthworms to pull into their burrows. This step also mimics rain settling a fresh layer of forest litter. In practical terms, you'll want to use a hose to soak every sheet until it darkens and sinks into place. If you're working in a large area, rainfall itself can take the role, but just be sure, the cardboard is fully saturated before moving on. Once moisture enters the system, microbial communities begin consuming the cardboard and fungi thread through the upper layers. Over the next few weeks, the structure weakens and, becomes part of the soil matrix. Now the magic begins. The cardboard alone suppresses weeds and builds structure, but to turn it into truly rich soil, organic matter must be laid over it. This can be compost, straw, dried grass, shredded leaves, or even wood chips, depending on what's locally available. This top material provides nitrogen, texture, and microbial diversity. Historically, farmers would, layer straw or leaf litter over fibre mats to create a stable humus. It's a method that's been used for generations, really. These days, if you're after a rapid soil transformation, just use compost as your top layer. But if you'd rather go for a slower, more low-maintenance approach, leaves or wood chips will do the trick. Spread the material on nice and thick, about 4 to 6 inches, give or take. This shields the cardboard from sunlight, keeps it from drying out, and encourages that slow breakdown, which, in the end, gives you a deep, sponge-like soil. Over the course of several months, you'll start to notice the cardboard blending right in, forming a lovely dark, crumbly layer. This layer does a smashing job of holding on to moisture, and honestly, it really supports strong root development. This approach, can be used in gardens, fields, and even in those really tough, hostile soils. It's quite flexible, really. For example, if you're looking to reclaim an area that's been completely overtaken by couch grass, just lay down 2 layers of cardboard, give them a good soak, and then cover the whole lot with a thick mulch made from dried grass. Then simply leave it be for an entire growing season. For small gardens, cardboard can be used in narrow paths to prevent weed growth while still improving the soil beneath. In survival or low-resource scenarios, cardboard becomes an excellent starter for raised bed systems. For those working on degraded land or clay-heavy fields, this method is one of the safest ways to rebuild fertility without disturbing the soil structure. What sets this method apart from bagged fertilizer is the long-term impact. Cardboard contributes carbon, while the organic covers provide nitrogen and micronutrients. As fungi, earthworms and bacteria digest the layers, the soil becomes more resilient against drought, compaction and erosion. This is the same principle behind ancient lasagna-style gardening practiced in various forms around the world. Instead of forcing quick growth, you're rebuilding soil health from the foundation up. A gardener who uses cardboard mulching consistently over years ends up with beds that behave like forest soil, dark, airy and full of life. You're not just feeding crops, you're restoring the entire underground system. Thank you for joining us on Farm Logic. If this guide gave you something useful, subscribe, share with fellow growers, and help spread the knowledge that keeps our soil and our history alive.